For this week's Conscious Thought of the Week, I'd like to offer you a tip on how to make the world a better place. Stop being a douchebag. No, seriously. So when I'm online, I occasionally, get locked into these debates that take up my entire day, and I sit there furiously typing away, wondering if I'm ever gonna get sense into whoever it is I'm arguing. And I imagine that they're on the other side of the world or the city or the country or wherever they're at thinking the same thing. When am I gonna get this idiot to understand my point of view? And often these debates turn into arguments, and then these arguments turn into whose ego is going to be bigger and prove themselves here. And it turns into chest beating, whether arguing with males or females, it goes that direction. And what I'm working on doing, and what I hope that you'll work on doing in your pursuit of creating a more free and beautiful world and learning about yourself in the process, remember to be compassionate. Look into compassionate activism. So why is it important to be compassionate? Why does it matter if you can empathize with your fellow human being and put yourself in their situation? Well, without being able to see yourself as a reflection of everyone else around you, and vice versa, everyone else a reflection as you, then it's sometimes difficult to empathize and to understand where they're coming from, and then from that point to understand why you should hear their viewpoints out and why you should even work with them. And then it's easy to just say, you know what, fuck it, everybody is an ignorant person, they're a bunch of sheeple, and even the ones who do kind of agree with me, I don't like them either. Instead, I'm just going to stay in my hole and I'm not going to work with people to change the world. Well, that's a very scared attitude that some people unfortunately take. I want to use a quote from Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddha, to emphasize my position here. He said to watch your thoughts, because your thoughts become your words become your actions become your behavior, and your behavior becomes your destiny. In order to change the world, we need to start with compassionate thoughts. We need to have compassionate words, compassionate action. You need to have mindfulness all the time when you're doing these things. For example, in the video last week of me on the streets doing the flag thing, I started to lose my temper a little bit, and you can hear a quiver in my voice, and I'm like, you don't know jack shit. Well, that was me just, for one, I was feeling antagonized, I was feeling provoked, but my ego came out, and I was like, oh no, I'm gonna get this guy. He's not gonna come up and do this to me. I could have been a lot more still, and it's just about being mindful in all those moments, especially under pressure moments when things are intense. That's when you need it the most. But think about it like this. Without wisdom, compassion, and action, we're not going to be set, I believe we're not going to be set on the right path towards changing ourselves, understanding ourselves, and bettering the world. Because with wisdom, knowledge, you understand why the state's bad, and you understand what's going on in the government, and you're looking out for all the next false flag events and conspiracies and things like that. And so you have this wisdom, but without action, then nobody's going to know. If you just sit there and you stay in your cave and nobody knows what you know, and you don't spread that information, then you're not going to be able to create a lasting change. And if you're all action, you're just running around all the time doing things, but you're not taking time to slow down and gain wisdom and gain knowledge and really understand these positions and come from a place that you can communicate to other people, then again, you'll be failing in those ways. But if you have wisdom and you have action, you can do a lot. But without this third component, without compassion, you'll still be lost. Because if you have all the knowledge in the world and you understand the ins and outs of the way the world works, and you want to go out there and take action and do things about it, without the compassion to understand why you need to do these things for yourself and why it's better to create a world that's full of critically thinking people who pursue their own goals without hurting anyone else, if you don't have the compassion to see these things and compassion towards your fellow human being, compassion towards yourself, then it's likely that you won't care about making these changes. So, look into that. In April 1993, Robert England and Armando Lazo were shot dead in the border town of El Paso, Texas. At that time, Daniel Villegas was a 16-year-old teenager also living in El Paso. Daniel reportedly claimed to have killed the men and was arrested shortly after. While in police custody,